and this is my first, what the hell are you thinking of the season? Ilya Mikheyev requesting a trade.
Oh, I get it.
What? No, I don't.
And them saying no.
Yeah. So
I get that.
Here's what tell me where I'm wrong here, okay? Because this is my impression of it, and I'm fully open to being wrong here. But this guy comes in, they take a chance on him, and bring him over from Russia, as we've seen with Igor Ozhiganov and Alex Barabanov. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Worked in San Jose. But Mikheyev was great right off the bat, like straight up the first 20 games or whatever he was playing.
And he heated up too.
And it was in the end of Babcock era where everything sucked.
It was when he was his hottest, it was with Keefe. And I remember saying this when this is what I said heading into the bubble. Mm-hmm. Because remember how badly the Leafs struggled up until the bubble.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? The Leafs with Mikheyev in the lineup under Keefe were like 12-4 or something like that. Or like they were really good, and he was really good. And then they play that warm-up game against Montreal, and a minute in, him and Tavares click for a goal. And I'm like, here we go. Ilya Mikheyev, the straw that stirs the drink, apparently. And he's going to be playing up in the top 6. This is going to be great. And then he was quiet those playoffs, and he's never really gotten it back.
Well, and of course, he had the wrist injury. And that was a brutal injury.
And it's not like, Matthews, you injured it, you go out and you get surgery. You got his wrist slashed with a skate.
Right. And made it back that year, which was a miracle, as you mentioned. But I want to say, this is the thing. So the Leafs take a chance on him once.
Yep.
And then,
and we're good to him.
Remember, Dubas was at the hospital that
4
night.
days. Yep. For 4 days.
For 4 days.
Dubas did really good by him.
And then last year he shows up. Oh, sorry, the bubble wasn't great for anybody. No. So we'll erase the bubble. Like no one.
That's fair.
You know what? Like okay, the Columbus series, the team shouldn't get a pass. They should have won the series. But I'll say, you know what? It was COVID. Nobody was at their best. I can tell you, I was a psychological disaster at that point. So fair enough, right?
Same.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But this past season, when again COVID, but still, we gotta at some point we gotta move on here. We gotta push forward. Mm-hmm. He was ineffective.
Offensively, for sure.
Yeah, he was fine defensively.
Yeah.
And it's not as though he didn't get a chance. Every night he was playing 13, 14 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the season, admittedly a tough season, after, frankly, and I know that these are teams and I know that they're big corporations, but they did all this for you and signed you to a deal that, frankly, you're not worth. He's not worth the deal that they're paying.
Not now.
He didn't earn... Did he earn the $1.5 million or whatever he makes?
Mm-hmm. I thought he did.
Last year.
I think last year, no.
No.
I'm talking about when he signed it.
Sure, but then, this is the thing.
Oh, you're talking about
live up to
by
the
the
deal.
end of
Did
the
he
season
live up to
when
the
he
deal?
asked for it. No,
Right.
you're right.
Right.
So you haven't lived up to the deal that you signed. The team has been behind you all the way.
I could have you or I could have Jack Campbell for the same money.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I read the piece from
please
Friedman?
do. Please do.
So it's he wrote in a story about Jack Eichel. He snuck this in at the end. It says, according to several sources, Toronto winger Ilya Mikheyev asked for a trade following the 2021 season. But what is important to the story is that the Maple Leafs made it clear they do not want to accommodate this request. With Zach Hyman and Joe Thornton gone from the left wing, the organization told Mikheyev it considers him a key part of their team and are counting on him to have a big year. His 14-13 per game last season was 8th among Toronto forwards. The issue appears to be ice time heading into the final year of his contract.
How do I look up ice time?
All right. The Leafs signed Nick Ritchie, so they're going to take more penalties, and there's your ice time.
So his average...
there's your ice time, bud.
Average time on ice in 2020 is 14-13. Postseason, 13-22. For a third-line winger.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't see himself as a third-line winger.
Well, but he has to play above that.
I think the frustrating thing, about being a third-line winger on the Leafs is you're one position away from being a second-line winger on the Leafs.
And that's a good spot. Yeah.
And then you're playing, especially in a contract year, right? He's trying to get paid this year.
Fair.
So you get to play on a line with either Matthews or Tavares. And if I'm looking, I look at last year, and
Hyman and Kerfoot kept them out?
I'd be very curious to know, and Thornton. I'd be very curious to know if he made the request before they went out and got Bunting and Richie. I'd be curious to know that.
Timing is interesting. The other thing I would say is you're not just going to be given that. Like Joe Thornton.
No.
Joe Thornton came in and actually played pretty well with Matthews and Marner. And I could say that. That's at the beginning of the season. I could say that if I'm Mikheyev and I'm looking at Joe Thornton where he's at, I'm like, are you guys serious? You're going to play him there?
Over me?
Right. And I from a competitive standpoint, nothing against Thornton, but from a competitive standpoint, I would understand that. His skill set's frankly better right now. But at the end of the day, you have to earn that. You haven't earned that. What are his stats? Like
I think here's the conversation you have with him. Kyle, I want to trade. Well, Ilya, you scored 7 goals last year, and one of them was with your arm. Mm-hmm. So I looked it up. Okay, put it this way.
He had 17 points in 54 games.
There's a video on YouTube.
And 0 points in the playoffs both years.
There you go.
Zero.
There's a video on YouTube of all of Mikheyev's goals from last year, and it's a minute and I think 13 seconds. Right? So that should tell you everything you need to know. He's at the bottom of his value. If he wants to simply stay home, if he thinks he can go get more money in the KHL or something, he can do that. But players, I think, ask for trades all the time. And the Leafs do not have to accommodate that at all.
I just think, honestly, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Because my point here is that this is a team that really, they're sticking with you. 23 and 17 points. Those are his totals. Now, the first year, 23 and 39. It's not bad. But then devastating wrist injury, and you come back, and you had time to heal the wrist, and that's the performance you put out. I'm sorry, but you can't blame the Leafs. You're getting 14 minutes a night, pal.
And if you actually look at the goals he scored, which we can't show you on this channel, he scored 7, and at least 3 of them are flukes. And like he had the 2 best chances to end the Montreal series in Game 6, and he just couldn't bear it. He's going to shoot higher than 6.5% next year.
Yeah, okay.
So he's got to believe...
he's in like the 8% or something like that, right?
He's got to believe that, and the Leafs got to believe that. And he needs to be more of a 200-foot player. And usually when you say that, it means play defense, dummy. But with him, it's...
Play offense, dummy.
Yeah, play offense, dummy. It's the exact opposite. What individual player's situation do you think Mikheyev, and specifically his agent, Dan Milstein, what player situation do you think they look at enviously?
That's a really good question. I wouldn't know.
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
Alex Barabanov. Barabanov was on the Leafs.
And he went to San Jose.
Lit it up, and got $1 million. Now, that's less than what Mikheyev has now, but Barabanov was good for it was 2 weeks. Right? And if I'm Mikheyev and if I'm his agent, I look at that and I go, I'm not the problem. This team is the problem. My role on this team is the problem. They're not using me right. He went to San Jose. They used him right, and he got his payday. And he's going to do better there next year, and he's going to get a bigger payday, which is what I should be getting because my contract is about to expire. I think this is just a business thing. I think his teammates like him. I think the team likes him. I think he likes the team. I think he likes it here. You know,
I don't think that I don't think I was bringing any of that up. I just think it's a shitty way for a team that's stuck with him. And really, Barabanov had played 9 games in San Jose. Are they effing crazy giving him $1 million?
What did he get?
7 points.
Man,
dude, that's like
I know.
It's the Ryan Dzingel effect. Like, somebody has to score. Nobody in San Jose scores goals. That team sucks.
I'm trying to think of guys who had ridiculously hot weeks.
And I get it. It's about money. I completely understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who's like, go get your money. Like with Taylor Hall, we had that whole debate. But Ilya, you got money. You got $1.6 million. $1,645,000 is the exact number. Give me a break with this.
The reason it's 645, by the way, is when he signed it. Remember, it was supposed to be more, and Dubas called him at the last minute and goes, "I need you to take a few grand less." Remember that?
Oh, I don't
in order
know.
to fit him under the cap.
Okay.
And Mikheyev said, "Yep, don't worry, that's fine. Go for it." He did Dubas a solid.
Okay, well,
And now he's like, and I'm playing 13 minutes.
We all saw him play. He doesn't.
I'm
you
trying
brought-
to see this from his
and
perspective.
I get that. And then
Yeah.
you know what? I would love to see him work out with Tavares and Nylander next year because wow, that would be first off a scary offensive line,
It's a great line.
and then defensively, that's a very responsible line. I love that.
Sure.
But
Does
you
he think
have
he's
to
going
earn
to
it.
get that opportunity though? Does he maybe there's been conversations in the room with Keefe that he's not going to get that chance because they brought in these other wingers who are going to be slotted higher in the lineup than him, and he sees an outlook. And he's like, I'm not going to get a chance to play here,
I think
and I
it's
want to
tryouts.
score some goals.
I think it's tryouts. Like the Leafs don't have a number one left winger. They don't. No matter who they put in the number one slot, they don't. Like, do you think Nick Ritchie's the number one?
So
Michael Bunting, Ilya Mikheyev?
Kasha is a right winger by trade. Mikheyev shoots left. Bunting is a left
Yes.
winger.
Mikheyev does play right.
He
as well.
does. Nylander can switch, but you don't want him switching. Simmons can play, but you think he's a third liner
Maybe.
or fourth,
Yeah.
right? Like, is it Kampf? Is it like in a Kampf you want him to
Kampf
play
is
center? So yeah, I mean this is, and if Mikheyev can't see the opportunity, I mean I think it's got to be.
The
I know
opportunity's
people are
100%
really
there.
Yeah, well, he's got to take it though. This is my point from the beginning.
Yeah.
If you don't like that Joe Thornton is playing with Matthews and Marner and you think you're better, and you probably objectively are, go take it from him. This is the NHL.
Yeah.
This is it's a complete meritocracy. Go and score and win. Go make yourself useful. I'm not saying he's not useful, and I'm a Mikheyev fan. I love Ilya Mikheyev. That's why I was so disappointed about this. It's just like, really?
You're asking Kyle Dubas to do something genuinely dumb.
Yeah.
A player with
Oh
a
my God.
contract that's too rich for his production at the bottom of his value.
In a year where he seems like he's going to be trying his hardest to get a next deal.
Trying his yeah. Why would you trade a player in a contract year at the beginning of it?
Right.
When you think you're good.